up a community project and single-handedly control it. But this time is doing it from the Nollywood space, and we're talking this morning with a chief who has the boldness to organize a New Yam Festival. Even in the Nollywood, we're talking with Chief Agility Onwura this morning. You're welcome to New Day on Signature
Thank you so
Television.
much.
Well, Chief, tell us about this journey. How did it start?
Um, it started in 2012. Then I was the chairman of Actors Guild of Nigeria, Abuja chapter. But normally, as a chief, I do New Yam Festival in my house. So when I became the chairman of Actors Guild of Nigeria, I understand that I'm now a father of a bigger family. So I have northerners, southerners, so many people that are not from Nigeria, being under my care. So we now, instead of doing it in my house as I used to do, I now bring it forth to the industry so that I can accommodate more people. Those days I just started with just getting the yam, palm wine, and people will marry, and I'll try to make everybody understand that your culture is everything. But as we move on, every other year, new things come into the event, and now it's a household name.
It's a household name, Nollywood New Yam Festival. But then, outside being just a thing you organize in your home, what inspired this creativity and this bringing? Apart from the fact that you mentioned that you do this in your home, but something must have triggered you to come to this.
Yeah, actually, I'm a filmmaker, like and in my course of the things that I do, I find out that we are losing the taste, the touch of our culture. And I did a survey, and I found out that more than 65% of children of African descent born outside Africa don't get to see, know, or have a taste of African culture. So I say because Nollywood is already a world brand, that if you can have a cultural activity that the Nollywood people are doing, that it will attract so many people to go to be part of it, to see if we can connect them to roots, to basis, to our basic culture. At the point there was a misconception as if culture is evil. No, culture is the way of life of people. Like I know that in this my course of journey, I one time meet Lai Muhammad, and I was telling him that Dora Kunili was the one that made it compulsory for civil servants to wear traditional clothes on Fridays. And I was agreeing with Mr. Minister then. I said, why can't we wear our traditional clothes for 4 days and wear suit on Friday? Who say that if you wear kaftan, you can't be a broadcaster? Must it always be tie and suit? You understand? Because they will make you think that what you're wearing, what you're eating is not safe, what you're wearing is not good, and stuff like that. Like this year, our theme this year is the role of African woman in sustaining and preserving African culture. Growing up as a child, I know that the food that mother cooks, that's what the children eat at home, and that's what you get to like. The clothes that mama wears you, that's what you want to wear, and that's how you. The language, the tongue that the mother speaks in the house, that's what the children picks easily. But now we have mothers that um, go to the market and buy tall jeans instead of buying patch to patch the tall clothes of the children. They're now buying the tall jeans from the market to wear the kids. We have mothers that cook indomie and smash egg instead of doing pap and akara ball that is hygienic and nutritious. We have mothers that speak pidgin instead of speaking their own dialects in a language that the children will understand, because there are languages, there are words you speak in your own dialect. It's heavy, it's more, the children understand it more than speaking in general English. And there are times you want to discuss with your children without making any other person understand what you're telling them. You cannot, because they don't know your language.
Interesting so far. But let's look at this whole New Yam Festival again. It has come of age.
Yeah,
You've been doing it for a while.
and this is the
Say
12th
12,
edition,
12 years now, you've been doing back to back.
back to back.
Have there been challenges? Have the road been smooth so far?
There have been a lot of challenges. Like I said, when I started it, I just from my pockets, I called festival, I called people who come and eat and drink. Then in 2017, I added an award to it. The award is to encourage people, people that like culture, people that can come to talk to us, people that can showcase what we have as Africans. And in our award, we don't give plaque. So
Okay.
what it means is that every other year, I'll bring in several royal fathers that will be the ones that will give these awards to these notable Africans. Because we'll have awardees from South Africa, from Kenya, from Ivory Coast, from US, so many people. So we give title awards, then we give ambassadorial awards for people that will carry this news to so many other places that we have. Like last year, we had a Chinese American that came, Dr. Lin, and we gave her Ayamototo, and she's happy about it. And we've been discussing with her that probably next year we're going to host it in Los Angeles, America, for other African descent to see. I'm also talking with some people, a friend of mine, Monique, she's from Kenya, but she's a coast, they do tour, cruise tour. And he said that let's see if we can plan it and go through the Caribbeans so that we can get other African descent to see most of these things that we're showcasing, most of this raw African culture that people are trying to kill.
Interesting. There are a lot of things to promote in Africa. Clothing, different attires, and what have you in Africa. Even the beats are
Yes.
things to promote. I'm curious, why yam? Of all things in Africa.
Actually, that has been the question. Why yam? And I always tell people, actually, I started that because I'm an Igbo man and we celebrate yam. So I started with a culture that I know, and I'm now beckoning every other person, bring your culture to be on the same plane with mine. And this have moved us that this year, if you watch our event this year that happened on the 1st and the 2nd of November, we've changed the name from Nollywood New Yam Festival to Nollywood Cultural Heritage Festival so that it will be more encompassing, but we'll still do our yam beats. Like I always say, some of the things that make you are the things that you're known for. From the part of Igbo land that I come from, we are known, like my father is a farmer, he's a businessman, rich, yes, but he still is a farmer. You understand? And I learned so many things from him. That's why every morning of my event, I do my yam ban with more than 300 tubers of yam. And always people are saying, you didn't grow up in the village. How come that you know how to do yam preservation this way? But all these things are things that we should let our children know. They don't have to be practicing it. They just have to know it and know this is the way, that their people do. Even if we are going to modernize it, why not? But let us still know that this is our culture.
All right. Looking at the New Yam Festival as it is right now, Nollywood New Yam Festival, how's the reception been so far among your colleagues? We have almost Asaba Wood, we have Kanye Wood, and the rest of the woods that we've had. But in the umbrella body of Nollywood, how's the reception been?
The truth about it is that the kind of support I've gotten from my colleagues, I don't think that there's anybody in Nigeria that have gotten that kind of support. Since inception, I have Nollywood stars, coming for the event. Actually, some that I didn't invite, I didn't remember to call, who always say, Agility, why? I've made my clothes for this event. And most of them will given them awards, like Kenneth Okonkwo, who gave him Akujungo. Tonto Dike is Adadiorama. Mona Lisa is Yes, and why? So we have so many Nollywood stars already that have been to event. The late Ibu Isake Buchonwa, and all these things are because of the things that they've done. And we have so many other prominent Nigerians that we've given. Some of them ambassadorial, ambassador of African culture, and some other ones title. But we are doing this to encourage people to know that our culture is our culture, and there are things that we need to know. Of course, everything that is bad you remove, but the ones that are good, let's promote it because it helps, especially with our food. Like last year, we introduced African Food Fest, where all communities come with their food. And most of the food that you're going to come with will be the one that you can teach people what the food gives. For instance, breadfruit, okwa. We get to understand that it is one of the most proteinous food that you can ever get anywhere. I have one of my doctor friend say that pap, pap. If you're good at drinking pap, you have low tendency of having ulcer. But because these days we drink tea without knowing what is mixed inside there and so many other things that we don't know, we have so many sicknesses, so many ailments that affect people without knowing. But natural food, things that we eat, you can still make it better. But know that if you are eating this food, if you're eating vegetable, if you're eating drinking pap, if you're eating corn, there are medicinal things that how it nourishes your body and still keeps you healthy.
Interesting so far. Chief Agility, let's talk about the fact that most people from even the Nollywood space, we've mentioned Kannywood, Asaba Wood, and other woods that we have in the country. And a lot of people will say that some of the titles that are given in your awards are usually Igbo affiliated, largely Igbo affiliated. Now, I want to find out, is the New Yam Festival regional centric?
No.
All right.
Okay, see what happened. In 2018, Sadiq Daba of blessed memory was Toban Gakwan of Nollywood New Yam Festival. We give everybody according to their tradition, but the thing is that most of them will now come and say, no, I don't want a northern, because we have, if you watch our event, we have emirs, we have Esus, we have all the kings.
No, we've seen kings in your festival.
So
Yeah.
whichever title you want from whichever part of the country that you want, that's what we'll give you. So most of those awards are people's choice. We don't dictate. So if you're an Igbo man and you want to be Toban, and we check your criteria and you merit it, of course, one of the emirs that will be in the event will Toban you. You now understand?
I do,
So
but I was just wanted to get that for us to clear the air.
yes, no,
that
that's,
is not.
that's how it, no, it's not Igbo thing. No, it is an African thing. Actually, I believe that I've been talking to one South African king. It's because of funds that I've not been able to bring into Nigeria, because we want to have, like I said, it's celebrating African culture the Nollywood way.
Interesting. Maybe when the South African king come, I'll be the first to be. But then let's look at these issues around even the yam, as it were. The yam has been a very interesting food for Nigerians. When people come for this New Yam Festival, what are they expecting to eat? Is it the roasted yam, a boiled yam, or you going to metamorphose yam into the porridge? What kind of yam do they even eat when they come for this?
Every year we try doing some things, but the one that is basic is the roasted yam. Every year.
I can perceive it from here.
Before now, except from this year that we did African Food Fest, every other year we roast a minimum of 100 tubers of yam.
100.
Yes, and we have oil sauce for it and stuff. But because we started African Food Fest, so we have people roasting yam, roasting plantain, doing local dishes like nkwobi, vegetable, chicken, and breadfruit, and so many other things. Ekpankukwu.
Ekpankukwo.
Yes, that's part of some of the things that came. And you see people that have not seen this thing for a very long time, yearning for it, and that's the platform that we are trying to, create, that people will eat. So if you come to Nollywood New Yam Festival from now onwards, you see so many other local dishes, from ewedu to begiri to every other thing that you can, black soup from the north and everything. So we just want to showcase all African food, especially the healthy ones, so that people will learn.
All right. You are in the Nollywood,
Yes.
and to a very large extent, the revolutionized Nollywood, you can call them the modern Nollywood actors and actresses, or the industry itself. We don't see these local yams and some of our local food being promoted even in our movies. Like you said, you're doing something very amazing by bringing in food, our local yam. But in our movies, we still see fried rice. We see jollof rice.
These
So,
are
yeah,
these
okay.
are part of the things that we are still trying to tell. And I always tell my colleagues, because I live in a mansion, because I lodge in Transcorp, does not mean I cannot order roasted plantain. You understand? So most of the times, in their mind, their pictorial mind, they feel that if I'm in a class hotel, that I will eat fried rice. No, it is not true. They feel that if I say I'm a professor, I will wear only tie. No, it's not true. These are part of the things that we're trying to conscientize people, that your qualification should not change your the things that you're doing, that you know that is better. You understand?
Yeah.
Our food are so nutritious because we know what they are made from. Most of those canned food, packaged foods, we don't know what they make, you know, out, where they come from. But these ones, most of them fresh from farm and all those things. So I still tell most of my colleagues, they don't understand. It's picture they're trying to create, but it doesn't show. It doesn't mean that it's only big men that eat fried rice. You don't even have to eat it. Abakaliki rice is more nutritious.
I like the way you said the Abakaliki rice. You said it with all full with pride.
Just
Maybe we'll have to try that with you one of these days in your food fest,
yeah,
African food fest.
yes,
But then, in the course of time when you've been doing this, the New Yam Nollywood New Yam Festival, we've seen a lot of improvement and innovations. At this point, are there plans for you to involve the government for probably to become make it a national project and not just you championing the cause? And there's a point where you're going to transition to allow something. What's the plan like?
yes. Already, like I said, I've been in discussion with the president for a long time, but recently, the Minister of Arts, Culture, Tourism, and Creative Economy, Dr. Hanatu Musawa, actually gave us a partnership after so many years, and it's something I will ever be thankful to her, because she now understand that this is something that needs to go. Yes, they call it a technical partnership, where they can, be our voice, because they've been part of this event for over 5 years. So they said if there are places we need to talk, things to reach within the government space or international community, that they will add their own voice to say that these people, we've seen them over time and they are doing well. So any kind of support that you need to offer them, offer. And this year again, we partnered with Abuja Investment Limited, which the GMD, I call her Babando. You know,
That's the title.
That's her title.
Okay.
Yes,
Back
Babando, that's
bando.
Shining Star.
Okay, Backbando.
That's who
Which
she
from
is.
which tribe is that?
She's actually from Rivers.
Okay, that's Backbando.
Yes.
Okay.
So she looked at it and said, "Oh, this is a good thing, and that next time that they will be part of the planning, to see that it's bigger. So I think that yes, for the first time we have a government influence in this last one that we did, and we hope that it will be bigger next time.
All right. So far, the Nollywood New Yam Festival has largely been organized even in Abuja.
Yeah.
Are there also plans for you to begin to organize this Nollywood New Yam festivals in a place like Benue, a place like Lagos, taking advancing the cause of promoting Nigerian culture, or is going to start and end here in Abuja?
We've talked about it over the years. Me and my committee have been looking at it. Um, Probably because we are looking at Abuja as a centralized place. But so many people have been saying, why not? If there's a government that want to host it, how do we do it? I said, okay, we'll talk with the government. But what it now mean is that we'll have to talk to other states to send in their own cultural activities. Like, those days that we do Abuja Carnival. You see, every state send in troops. So we can pick one or two, three other cultures from the north, from the west, from, you know, everywhere to make it lively. We don't want a situation whereby probably if we go to rivers, for instance, we only have rivers culture. We still want the rivers people to see other people's culture that they will either emulate, learn, laugh, and see what others have too. That's why we're doing. That's why I removed the New Yam inside our own and put it cultural heritage so that everybody knows that it is a playing ground for everybody to showcase their own culture.
Interesting. A lot of people will say that even this New Yam Festival is a total chief agilities project. Um, Chief Agility has want to use this one to shine, and all the benefit that comes with the project goes to him. But at this point, I want to ask: do you have a team that you work with? I know you've mentioned the committee, but are there team behind
I have a
this?
team. I have a team that have been working for me some more than 10 years, some about 3 years. We always have a team. I just told you. I said I have some people. We are planning having the first international edition next year, and I have culture creative already say they are going to partner with me. They are coming apart from individuals that are there. We now have partners that are coming fully to be part of this. So we have I have so many people working with me, and they've been there for a long time. Remember, this is an NGO. I can beat my chest and tell you that I'm not actually made money doing it. I only spend mine. So what I do every year is to sit down, talk to my friends, work, gather money, and spend because I really, really want to make this thing start working. This year I did 100 tubers of yam in bag, and next year I said I'm going to teach people how to farm in bag. We just acquired a 10-hectare land in Kuje where we plan to do farm art, where we'll be teaching people, especially local food. I'm talking with Dr. Rosso to have one of the hectares for medicinal plants. These are part of the things that we're trying to teach. That there are things around you that can help your life instead of trying to go for modified things. So it's we are trying as much as we can to be African as much as we can.
This is getting interesting. Chief Agility, with all of these plans, all of these goals, aspirations, and targets that you've set for yourself, do you still have time to act? You still have time to go on set?
That's my first love. So no matter how you try to work, you still make space. And acting is something that is planned. So they always give you your date. So inside your hustle, you still try to read your scripts. You try to do inquiries on how to, characterize your role and stuff like that. So I still do that.
You still
from time to
act,
time.
you still
Yes,
take your family life,
I still
you still go out to do business with all of this, all 10 acres of land.
I still
Now
try.
this is really strange for
Still do
for
it.
a man of your caliber to still come back and tie this up together. But then this whole festival has come to stay, whether I would like it or not. It
Yes.
has come to stay. It has at least has stayed for a decade.
Yes, 12 years.
Yeah,
This is
it's
the
it's
12th
a
edition.
decade, and so it has come to stay. But right now, again, curiosity, just asking. At this point in time, people will also say, or people are saying, that Chief Agility will, at a point, use this platform to begin to probably transition into becoming the governor. That's the goal. That he's eyeing political offices. So he wants to. No, I'm just asking. I've done a bit of research before even bringing you on the show this morning. He's eyeing to become the governor. He's eyeing to become a chairman or the president. But then, is this all a program and the New Yam Festival gearing towards pushing you through the political limelight?
No, the Nollywood New Yam Festival is strictly to promote African culture. If in the course of our life our people say, "Ah, come and serve us," why not? We'll still serve them, but we'll still promote African culture.
You sound like a politician.
I'm sounding like agility.
When we say agility, the politician. So your people say, come and serve us.
Then
You don't have a
we're
choice,
here to serve.
but you go and serve. So invariably, you were saying that this whole NGO project that you're doing is just to help humanity and not necessarily a
Purely,
political drive.
purely. Like I told you, I was former chairman Actors Guild of Nigeria, president. I'm presently the president of Association of Entertainment Practitioners. All the entertainment industry in Abuja, I'm the president, and it have not mad me, it have not stopped me, and we're still working.
Now, let's go another angle on the story because we need to put the. My job is to put the right perspective out there for people to be able to make informed decision when when we say the New Yam Festival and the Nollywood New Yam Festival, what does this stand? But then let's talk about the criterias that you used for giving out these awards. What are the criterias? Or we just pick people randomly and decide to give them titles? And if we pick those people and we're giving them the title, we're bringing royal fathers to confer those titles on them. How solid is this title, or is it just a ceremonial title?
Okay, no. First, most of the royal fathers that I bring are original royal fathers that has community, that man community in Nigeria. So when they give you title, it is for the things that you've done. For instance, I'll just give you instances of some of the people that we gave. Um, the lady I call Dr. Elaine that we gave Otutu, I am Otutu, from that is Chinese American, is a Chinese American that is interested in developing Africa. That was why we gave her. We gave Babando, that's the GMD of Abuja Investment Limited, Babando, because of what she's done. If they read out her criteria, you understand. We don't just give her award because we want to give her award, and it's because our event is an open event. It's not an event that you buy table or you pay tickets, or so we give on merit. That's what we do. So you're not giving us money to give you. We are looking at you and seeing what you've done, and we believe that you can improve the cause of promoting the culture, and we'll call you. That's what we'll do.
So you were saying again that the royal fathers, once they give those titles,
It sticks.
so you can return back home and begin to wear the red cap.
Of course, it's a pronouncement. It's an original pronouncement.
you can now go and join the cabinet of a chief
No,
or
you can't
something.
join the cabinet
Okay.
because cabinets in places are appointed. It's not every red cap chief that is in the cabinet. You understand? So it gives you it's an honor.
Okay, that I think that reminds me of the Ozo and the four title
Yes,
holders way back in school when we did all of those.
yes.
So
Like me, I took my chieftaincy title way back. My father gave me I'm like this 2024. I'm like 42 years as a red cap chief.
wow, that's huge.
You understand?
All right, so Chief Agility, maybe we should put a double chief to the title for manning 4 decades plus and still counting with the red cap. It's really calls
It's
for.
great because that's what I think is that when you're growing and seeing things, some of the things that you learned in the past, it's coming up, it's flowing, and I remember very well that those days we live in Enugu. I'm from Umoji in Anambra State, so every weekend on a Friday after school, my father would drive me to the village and we'll do farm. I, I'll follow him to his meetings because he's a red cap chief and a cabinet member. Then on Sunday, we'll come back and I start school on Monday. And this is what we do every week.
Papa was really be a strong man.
You now understand? So when I tell people that I like culture and see what I do, some will be saying, where do you learn it? I did. I was directed. And that's why we are telling so many fathers, so many mothers, you need to direct your children.
The Nollywood industry is changing.
Yeah.
To hear a person of your caliber that have been in this industry for years and still standing, it really calls for a great concern. But then the question is, even as it stands right now, can we say that Nollywood industry is largely dominated by people that don't have a stronger, because some of the portfolios and profiles of people that we read aside yourself has been people that struggle with maybe their educational careers, and all of a sudden they dabbled into Nollywood, or they are unpicked and tried on the scene and it worked out and they became actors and actresses. Can we say that to a large extent that this is what the industry is? A people that are struggling to survive and one way or the other they find themselves in the scene.
No, this one is part of the Nollywood stories. Sometimes the stories that people they say that there's no good news like bad news. So it's the ones that people struggle. That's what the news people want to put out there to sell news. But I can close eye and mention more than 30 people that didn't struggle entering the industry. We have likes like Pete Doche, we have RMD, we have Emeka Rollers, we have Bomane Ludoku, we have Kenneth Okongo. They didn't struggle. They came into the industry. We have what's her name? My sis Amaka, Kate Henshaw. They didn't struggle. Yes, they came from school and they entered the industry and they are thriving. Yes, of course, there are a few people that didn't go to school or the parents are not rich and all those ones, and that's the stories people are trending. But there are so many people that they were well to do. I know so many bankers that resigned from banking job and joined the industry and they're doing wonderfully well.
I said if you come, I'll ask you. There is this narrative that if you want to be given a lead role in the Nollywood industry, you must be able to have graced hands or perhaps must have done some stuffs before you give in those roles. How correct is this narrative?
False. It's a very big lie. I always tell people will always paint a picture of, they want to tell stories better than people that are inside. being the chairman of Actors Guild of Nigeria gave me room to meet so many people. I wasn't just the chairman, I was the chairman of all the chairmen in Nigeria for 7 years between 2010 to 2017. And I interact with people, especially mothers that want their daughters to come to the industry. They always say, we understand that the director will sleep with everybody to give. I say, no, it's not true. It never happens. Yes, you still have people that want to tell that story. You know that I sleep with this person. Who are you now if you don't want to sleep with me? Of course, we can get those people. But the truth about it is that if you first say no, he can't do it.
I didn't quite get that.
Okay, let me explain.
Please.
What I'm saying is that it is not true that you will soil your hand, that you belong somewhere to make it. What makes you is your talent. Your talent. If I give you a soft role, maybe a one-scene role, and you are wonderful, if I'm writing the next script, I'll give you a sub or a lead, depending on who you are and how you are. So what keeps you in the industry is your ability to interpret roles. On the other hand, if you sleep with 1 million directors and you cannot act, nobody sells a bad market.
Nobody sells a bad market. That's quite interesting. Let's come back again and talk. Because you've been more of an Hollywood person for larger years than we can even imagine. We can say that this is your first life. Then probably the screen has been you, and you've been on the screen for a very long time. But tell us, how did you metamorphose? How did you come into the Nollywood industry?
Okay, I left school in 1998. Then I did a bit of traveling. Went to Dublin. Then I came back. Then I joined the industry. Early 2000, 2001, thereabout. And since then, that's it. I didn't work for any company in Nigeria. I didn't apply for any job in Nigeria. I just in that industry. Like I said, I have a family that was sustainable, and I started work even when I was in school. I do business here and there. I try from beginning to feed myself, and that's it.
Chief, Double Chief Agility. Let's talk about fake life in the Nollywood industry. Is it correct that most actors and actresses live fake life?
I won't put it that way, but still, yes, somehow. But it's not an industry thing. It is a societal thing. I always tell people, sometimes there are things you attribute to industry, but there are things you attribute to society. People do like living fake life, whether they're in the industry or not. People like painting stories. Like if you go to Facebook, Instagrams, you see so many people. More than 90% of them are not industry people, but you see their lives is different from what they have originally. So generally, it's not an industry thing. But on the other hand, it is people, that are believing for the industry. For instance, you see some old men, they are not too rich, but because of their physique in the Nollywood industry, they only use them as big man. And you seeing them after the screen, you want to see a big man that he is not.
Okay, make believe.
So it is sometimes in people's head, not them building what you're thinking, but people now imagining what they are seeing on the screen.
Chief Agility, time check, it's time for us to begin to pack. But before we pack and leave, speaking of fake life, the Nollywood industry, again, when they come around, your practitioners, your colleagues, when they come around for the New Yam festivals, do they eat the yam with palm oil?
Of course.
Do they go local? Do they open their mouth to eat the yam?
Of course.
Because, because we won't talk about this.
If you don't give them something, they will be shouting.
Oh, they shout. I thought that when you see people on the screen and the screen gods and the
That's
screen
what I'm
goddess,
saying now. So it's now people's imagination that they don't eat yam, but they do.
roasted yam.
local ones.
With,
If you have it on mortar, they will prefer it.
you mean your colleagues eat?
I'm telling you, I said they would. Those days, the president of Actors Guild of Nigeria will say, "Agility, tell Madam, my own is special, so that they package it. I want to sit down well and eat it."
Hey, Chief Agility. I want to say thank you so much for
Thank you so
finding time
much.
to be with
Thank you
us
so
even
much.
this
Thank
morning.
you. My pleasure.
Yeah, it's a pleasure hanging out with you this morning. Well, this is how far we can go on the show this morning. Do remember that you can join the conversation on our various social media handles should you want to do that right away. Our social medias are displayed on the screen, and join the conversation and let us know what you think about some of the things that we've discussed here on this table, even as it borders on the roasted yam by a lot of actors and actresses in Nigeria. Well, till I come your way again, same time, same station, I am Godwin Sunday. Do remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. From all of us here in the studio, it's bye for now.